94.9.
My head's so far away.
Mornings are for dreamers.
I'm a dreamer, yes, I'm a dreamer. Oh.
The break of dawn for champions.
Champion, 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 champion.
On 32 FM 94.9.
Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us on the Break It On Papers Review this wonderful Friday morning. It's really great to have you join us on the Break It On Papers Review. My name is GBOLABO, famous school. And of course, we have some national dailies here up for review. We have the Punch newspaper, the Guardian, Nation, Nigerian Tribune, and a host of other papers here for review. We're starting off with the Punch newspaper this morning. And here we have knocks kudos as Tinubu honors June 12 heroes. And more headlines here out of the Punch newspaper. Nigerian arrested for trafficking 15 students in Australia. Federal government Ogun failure obvious on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Tanker explosion stranded motorists lament 24-hour gridlock on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Nigeria no longer true democracy, says 𝐃𝐈𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐀𝐈𝐒. Nigeria opens camp ahead of African fencing championships. Federal government to revoke dormant oil licenses with new policy. All the top and latest news here out of the Punch newspaper this morning. A bit of the Metro Plus page. Panic is fuel-laden tanker somersault in Oyo. Gunmen kill 9-month-old baby. 3 farmers in Plateau. 10 suspected herders remanded over Benue killing. Naked man found hanging from tree in Ogun. Still here on the Punch newspaper, federal government to revoke dormant oil licenses with new policy that taken earlier. BOI to unveil impact fund youth bank. Producers export 12.96 trillion naira crude as local refiners starve. All of that are some of the headlines here out of the Punch newspaper this morning. Let's also take a look at the Nation newspaper. There are also quite a number of headlines here out of the Nation newspaper this morning. A look at the Nation, we have this one. Tinubu affirms commitment to multi-party democracy. Democracy not gifted by military, but reclaimed by Nigerians, says Akpabio. Reign of honors for June 12 heroes orders. Bank launches 2 billion naira private varsity scholarship. 𝐒𝐿 protest for infrastructure. As 𝐒𝐿 protest for infrastructure in Edo community. Governors, Nigeria has made measurable progress. Youth rally for Tinubu in Lagos, Abuja. Wrongs done to our parents now corrected, says MKO's son, Jamiu. And a bit of entertainment. Kiss Daniel, my dad was my best friend. And more here out of the Nation newspaper, looking at politics. Osun women group promises Tinubu Niwa boss 1 million votes. 2026, Babayemi gets Osun LGA Youth's Kinsman endorsement for APC ticket. 2027, Adamawa APC rallies for Tinubu welcomes high-profile defectors. Tinubu dismisses one-party state agenda, welcomes defectors to APC. Democracy must work for people, not just at polls. Natacha. Niwa boss denies meeting with police to destabilize Osun. Renew commitment to democracy or your governor. Hopeful, that's all your governorship hopeful, urges Nigerians. All of that are some of the news item here coming out of the Nation newspaper this morning. Let's also take a look at the Daily Post. Here on the Daily Post, Governor Alia lied. We didn't sponsor herdsmen attacks in Benue. NAS members reply, Governor Alia, June 12th, Nigeria needs total restructuring. That's according to Patrick Tommy. And here, June 12th, handover to military. We are not practicing democracy, group tells Tinubu. NEF accuses Tinubu of marginalizing North in infrastructure allocation. And a little more headlines there out of the Daily Post. Stakeholders, analysts praise Nigerian breweries. All right, that appears to be some news there. And of course, more headlines there says Akpabio disregarded my right as Senator. Seriki Dixon picks holes in Tinubu's speech. And June 12th, Nigeria would have been better if my father was president. That's according to MKO's son. And here we have saying Abacha annoyed 1993 presidential election is tails. Abiola's son tackles IBB. June 12, we commend Nigerians for enduring hardships. That's according to APC. Democracy, see yourself as participants, not as spectators. Imo Governor Uzodimma tells Nigerian youths. And before we leave the Daily Post, we take some few more. And this says, Democracy Day, your government lacks integrity, transparency. Imo PDP tells Uzodimma. And this time I'm running for president. Mustafa confirms 2027 bid. Defection, I'm chasing elephant. No backing dog will distract me. Governor Eno. All right, all of that is some of the headlines there out of the Daily Post. We'll take a look at also Daily Trust here and pick some headlines so out of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. It's still the Break It On Papers Review here on your Laughter Dial 32 FM 94.9 in case you're just joining us. All right, looking at the Daily Trust newspaper, we have this one to some of the headlines making the round. Democracy, PDP, ADC, SDP take on Tinubu on opposition comment. And more headlines there says demonstration protest against hardship flops in states. 8 family members die in Kaduna Zaria OTA crash. More headline here says demonstration protest against hardship flops in states taken earlier. And we also have this one. 3 inspectors detained over extortion in Anambra. Obi, in 2 years, Tinubu borrowed more money than 3 presidents combined. No idea how I survived Air India crash. Sole survivor. I won't help you put your house in order. Tinubu towns BDP orders. And Tinubu confers honors on Shoyinka, Falano, Sheusani, Ubasani orders. And still here on the Daily Trust newspaper front page, we have this more here. Mokwe flood, 1 more body recovered 8 days after. Senior lawyer to Tinubu, honor late Rimi Lamido Atiku Dangiwa. All of that is some of the headlines there out of the Daily Trust this morning. All right, we also take a look at the Cable NG and get some headlines still out of the Cable NG this morning. All right, here on the Cable NG, we do have some of these headlines. Tinubu honors Humphrey Nwosu weeks after Senate rejected motion to immortalize him. Ohanaeze to Tinubu, thanks for honoring Humphrey Nwosu. Name INEC headquarters after him. Saraki Judiciary Executive undermining National Assembly. It's becoming shadow of effective parliament. And we have here presidency apologizes for listing Fasoranti Madunago on posthumous honors list. And here we also have the Seriki Dixon. Tinubu missed golden opportunity to restore democracy and rivers. Tinubu mocks opposition parties, says it's a pleasure to see you in disarray. British passengers survives Air India crash that claimed 241 lives. And Shehu Yahadua gets GCFR as Tinubu confers national honors on 66 Nigerians. I will never view one party state as good for Nigeria, says Tinubu. Tinubu grants posthumous pardon national honors to Ken Saro-Wiwa, 8 Ogoni activists. And NPC says it recorded 748 billion naira profit in April. All right, so here on the cable, and before we go on that break, we'll quickly also look at the Vanguard. NIMN to host AGM induct 95 associates June 19. All of that are some of the headlines there out of the cable. A look at the Vanguard newspaper as well here. On the front page of the Vanguard, we have this coming up, and of course, still taking headlines there on the Break It On Papers Review. And of course, on the Vanguard, I don't view one party state as good for Nigeria, coming from President Tinubu. IBB apologized to Ross for annulling June 12, Abiola's son. Tinubu celebrates journalism icon Sam Amoka at 90, confers national honors on him. Other latest news, Democracy Day, shun protests, embrace dialogue for peace. That's according to South. And we have NRM to CJN hold court abuse by failed politicians. Israel strikes Iran's nuclear military targets in Operation Rising Lion. Nigeria can work if governance gaps are fixed. That's according to Pastor Bakari. IBB admitted mistake, apologized for cancelling June 12, Abiola's son. Uncle Sam at 90 deserves commendation for media development in Nigeria. And of course, we have to hit the bells right about now and go on our first break. And when we do come back, we'll be having more on the Break It On Papers review. Do stay with us.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
ọ̀rẹ́ mi tí ń bẹ nílùú òyìnbó sọ pé àwọn máa ń ra electronics wọ́n sì máa sanwó ẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ bí wọ́n ti ń gbowó lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n ní nàìjíríà wa yìí ó máa gba 20,000 naira wọ́n sì máa retí pé kó kó 500,000 naira wà lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà láti fi ra nǹkan bó bá fẹ́ ra tv náà ó máa tówó jọ bí ẹni dọ́jọ́ ìgbéyàwó sọ́nà.
àlàyé farabalẹ̀ ṣé o tí gbọ́ nípa CDK ni.
ó dé o CDK kí ni.
níbẹ̀ lèmi ti ra fóònù ọwọ́ mi tó ń wò yìí fìríìjì washing machine home theatre tí mo sì ń sanwó díẹ̀díẹ̀ kódà kò ní owó èlé kankan iye tán sì ń tà lọ́jà gan-an onímúra.
irọ́ o ṣé lóòótọ́ wọn ò fowó kankan kún kẹ̀.
ọ̀rẹ́ wa n ò fowó kankan kún kódà gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí mo rà lọ́dọ̀ wọn ni wọ́n ti gbé fún mi tí n sì ti sanwó mi tán tí mò ń sanwó mi díẹ̀díẹ̀. ọ̀rẹ́ wa kí ló dé tó ń yọra rẹ lẹ́nu ǹjẹ́ ló mọ̀ pé pẹ̀lú CDK o lè ra àwọn nǹkan èlò inú ilé tó sì máa sanwó díẹ̀díẹ̀.
download CDK báyìí lórí Google Play Store tàbí App Store.
CDK, making life easier.
àfi ká wá nǹkan ṣe sọ́rọ̀ àwọn nǹkan tó ń gbówó lórí yìí o. lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ a máa dín owó tá à ń san fáwọn ìkànnì mọ̀ọ́máwòrán kù. 3 crowns milk láti.
rárá o ẹ má dé bẹ́ẹ̀ rárá o.
torí kíni.
iṣẹ́ ńlá ni màmá ń ṣe àti pé 3 crowns milk máa ń ṣara àwọn màmá lóore kí wọ́n lè máa ṣàtìlẹ́yìn fẹ́ bí wa.
ìṣúra láìlẹ́gbẹ́ làwọn màmá torí náà jẹ́ kí màmá mọ rírì ìṣúra tí wọ́n jẹ́ pẹ̀lú 3 crowns milk.
3 crowns milk ìlera àwọn màmá ayọ̀ ẹbí.
Golden penny pasta, what's your reason?
What's your reason, oh?
Everybody gather round. Come and hear the news in town. From the kitchen to my heart, every single body's a thrill. With every bowl I share, I find more reasons.
There are more reasons to love Golden Penny Pasta, enriched with protein and fiber for you and your loved ones. Golden Penny Pasta, great taste, good nutrition.
This taste na banger, this taste na creamy rich, this taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1. Thickness, enjoyment, yumminess, happiness, delightfulness, deliciousness, smoothness. This taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1.
Enjoy more creamy richness with the new Nescafe original 3-in-1 in the new pack. That's strong, finish strong.
Kí ló ń sún ọpọ́n ìrẹsì jọ̀lọ́ọ̀fù lọ sípele ìgbádùn tó ga? Ṣé tí wọ́n bá sè é pẹ̀lú kóró náà fún adùn tó kà màmá yẹn ni? Tàbí tẹ́ ẹ bá jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó sàláàdì Nàìjíríà, èso kábéèjì, kárọ̀tì, lẹ́tùsì, àtẹ̀wà oníkíndìnrín díẹ̀.
Ó ní láti jẹ́ méjèèjì. Ṣé jollof rice rẹ pẹ̀lú adùn kóró náà kí o wá jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀fọ́. Ó yá jẹ́ kí ọ̀pọ̀ oúnjẹ rẹ gbé pẹ́ẹ́lí. Lónìí, jẹun tó dáa.
Ẹ̀yin fans mi.
It's okay.
Ẹ lọ sórí gbogbo ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ ní 32 FM 949 fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀
Asafu. It's okay.
I have a little cup, sir, in my little chest, sir. Anytime I cough, sir, it makes a heavy sound,
I
sir.
see. You have a cough. I know just what you need. I'll give you Uniplex. It will clear your chest fast. Fast, fast, fast. Clear your chest fast.
Uniplex. Uniplex.
Uniplex cough syrup gives you relief from sore throat, cold and chesty coughs. Manufactured by Daily Needs Industries Limited. Uniplex cough syrup is for children and adults.
Uniplex.
If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks were clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
One day now, one day. Walk no go rest deep. Say you still fit go on holiday. Make you no day complain. Retire in grand style. Make it worth your while. Choose a partner that won't stress you out. Let's shape your future. Access ARM is working for you. Access ARM is investing for you. To live a life that you dream for you. We don't go for your head.
Let's help you shape the future you deserve. Access ARM Pensions. Future shaping.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development and the care they need with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics to help your child's digestion and development, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. And all of these work together to support your child's development and growth today and tomorrow. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, you're welcome back. You're still on to Break It On Papers Review here on your laptop at 32 FM 94.9. And of course, we're going into the review proper this morning. We do have Austin Udumu joining us for the analysis proper. Austin, it's great to have you back. Good morning.
GBOLABO, thank you for having me.
All right. Good morning. I guess we can start off with the Knox Kudos as Tinubu honors June 12 heroes. I think there are quite a number of people who have been seen as defender of democracy, which we have the president recognizing them with some sort of awards and honors here. And of course, I don't know, don't you think there are some names missing on this list itself? Like the likes of Dele Momodu. We do know the kind of role the likes of Dele Momodu played during the June 12 saga. This was a man who resigned his job at Concord as a writer, joined the presidential campaign. He was arrested for doing that by the military junta. And now it reminds one of what Chinua Achebe wrote at a point in time with Nkem character in the Ant Hills of Savannah. And now, if we see this play now, are we really practicing democracy, and are the right people recognized at the topest hierarchy here?
Yeah, thank you, GBOLABO, once again, and happy Democracy Day to all of us. We may not like the way things are, but for the first time in the history of Nigeria, we have around 26 years unbroken democracy. The First Republic, I think it was 6 years. The Second Republic was maybe 4 years or thereabout. The Third Republic was defeated. And here we have 26 years. It's a very good one. Although we need to do more, the government needs to do more to make our national life truly democratic. Having said that, the list of those that should be honored cannot be exhausted. This is not the first time we are having G12 in Nigeria. I want to particularly commend former President Muhammadu Buhari for officially recognizing June 12 as a national day for democracy. We must get it from there. Some of these names that we are mentioning today that has been excluded, they have always been around with us. They have always been there. Fayemi also said something that is very strategic. All the people that were the voices in the radio coup d'etat were not also captured. So it was unfortunately so. You just mentioned Dele Momodu. Personally, I recognize the enormous sacrifice Dele Momodu also made. But we must put it on record that this is the first time a president will truly honor the heroes of June 12th. Go and fact check it. This is the first time. Before now, national honor is about politics. It's about those who are in government. It's about those who are friends to people in government. But this is the first time that core activists of June 12th, most especially, have been honored. So those that have not been honored by way of omission or what have you, of course, it will still get to them. But like what Fayemi, the observation Fayemi raised, Fayemi was in government. He was close to former President Muhammadu Buhari. He could have also mentioned it to him or listed those names and say, boss, can you honor these people? So it's a work in progress. A lot of people have been honored as far as this June 12 is concerned. Look at the agitation a few months ago about Professor Humphrey Nwosu of the June 12. Some people said he didn't do enough. Some people, it almost assumed ethnic coloration. But look at the way the president addressed that issue seamlessly, honoring Professor Humphrey Nwosu. So there are some names on that list that you must give a thumbs up that the president actually did well by honoring them. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a clear departure. Of course, there's anything the government will do, or even the president, that everybody will come on board and clap for him. That is not it's no longer a democracy. But for the first time, I think the real issue have been addressed. Of course, there are still elements of people that you think that, whether they have actually merited it or what have you. But this is the first time, and some people will also pardon. Those names have always been in Nigeria. Where are they? Why is it that successive administration, a particular government for 8 years did nothing to even mention the role Abiola played in this democracy that we are living in until 2018 when Muhammadu Buhari came? So for those who have not been enlisted on that list, well, it's a work in progress. Probably they could be captured by next year. But I think it's a good one that a lot of these fighters for June 12th have been so recognized.
All right, Austin. Tinubu mocks opposition parties, says it's a pleasure to see you in disarray. Now, that appears to be part of the presidential address for June 12. Many people, some said that the national broadcast had been like the norm, but the president decided to say he's going to make a speech at a joint meeting with the National Assembly, which he did. And the political aspect of it, which happened that a number of Nigerians were saying, what's going on, one party state or what? And now we have Tinubu reacting to say, I will not put your house in order and we will not shut our doors in APC. Now, do we say that is solely a political statement against the democratic tenets of any country itself?
There is nothing democratic about that. Of course, I agree that it's a political statement. That is the mindset and the habit of an average Nigerian politician. Maybe we are looking at it because it's coming from the president. Of course, yes. An average politician wants crisis in the other party, in the camp of the opponent, so that they can gain political advantage, so that they can gain political capital. That is the way it works. Most of the time, I wonder when we accuse politicians of playing politics. The duty and the job of the politician is to first of all play politics. So, but most of the time, we look at some of these and say, oh, it should have been. Of course, the president cannot put the house of opposition party in order for them. Look at them, they are in disarray. They are fighting over power. They are fighting over personal ambition. There was a time in the history of Nigeria, a ruling party was having 28, 29 governors. All of us said governors do not matter. When people were decamping, people went to TV station and said, it is the Nigerian people against the APC or the president in 2027, that governor has one vote. I saw somebody on the TV that did analysis that after us, a governor has one vote. So why are people now agitating that we are inching towards one party state since the governor has only one vote? See, politicians always thrive on crisis, especially in the opposite party. That is how they gain political capital. There are some people that contested in the 2023 election, if not for crisis or disenchantment in some other party, they may not have gotten the number of votes that they get. So politicians have a way of riding to power on crisis in the opposite party. So That is the point the president is making. And we must not forget that the president is first of all a politician before becoming the president of Nigeria. So what the opposition element should do is to put their house in order. Let them not allow ambition to tear them apart. I believe that there is no president or nobody that cannot be defeated. In recent history, our political experiences have shown that nobody cannot suffer defeat politically. But the politician, the opposition politician, had to do enough. But for the ruling party, whether you like it or not, shout from here to tomorrow, they will not shut their door against people from coming. The president cannot wake up tomorrow and say, oh, because people are talking about people decamping to my party. Oh yeah, you go to this party. Politicians don't reason like that. So let's allow them to play their game. The opposition should sit up. They should coordinate themselves and provide strong opposition, not even for the purpose of taking over power, but for the purpose of providing opposition that could trigger and compel the ruling government to develop the country, the ruling government to deliver dividends of democracy. That is how it should be. But ask me.
All right, Austin, let me just chip this in before we go.
Crisis in the other parts.
All right, I just wanted to add this. Austin, should we have those that have power of incumbency, step aside a bit away from campaign during elections, because some people will say they have upper hand. Like the president, for instance, should he be at the forefront of talking about politics while he's still there holding on to power? Should we have some sort of not wielding that authority when campaigns are about to approach, or the step aside pending when the elections are over and the decisions are made?
I think you are just suggesting this morning that we need to change our constitution. And if that is going to change, it's not going to change for Bola Tinubu, it's going to change for all the politicians in Nigeria. Maybe you are trying to suggest that, if you are a governor, you are a president, if you are seeking for a second time or you are recontesting, you should first of all resign for your position. Then you go and slug it out at the election. It doesn't work like that. Even in a saner and more advanced democracy, it doesn't work like that. We should strengthen our institution and allow the institution to work. If we allow our institution to work and politicians play the game by the rule, by allowing the most popular candidate to emerge, of course, we have sanity in our elections. We have integrity and credibility of our electoral process. But trying to say that, maybe we have seen Ikuben defeated before. The former president, Goodluck Jonathan, became the first president of Nigeria to be so defeated, the first Ikuben. We have seen governors who even lost their bid to go to the Senate. It happened in that same Nigeria. That's the truth. So we must get it clear. Until and unless all of us will now come together and say, let somebody resign, contest, don't hold your power. But don't forget, if you are digging a pit for your enemy, don't dig too deep, because you might make a mistake and slide into it.
All right, Austin, British passenger survives Air India crash that claimed 241 lives. Now, every time we learn of plane crash, and hundreds of thousands of people have died as a result of air crash here. Do we begin to see that we should have engineers begin to look at easiest way where passengers can be saved, like detach, have the passenger cockpit or the passenger cabin detached from the whole, aeroplane itself or the aircraft itself to save lives, and there should be like a proper landing? Should there be some sort of new software or new way to save lives? Because watching life waste away, not just adults here, also children involved in all of these disasters itself.
The Indian air crash was an unfortunate incident. Over 240 people lost their life, one survivor by God's grace. So that was a very bad incident. And the aircraft have not really taken off so long before that incident happened. And based on reports, some astrologers and some aerospace engineers have warned that there may likely be a crash, I think about a week or two ago. And things were also taken for granted one way or the other, and it happened. Then the specification of the aircraft, that particular model of aircraft, there have been series of issues as far as that particular model is concerned. Before we take off into the air, I think something extra needs to be done, especially at this time. 2025, there have been too many air crashes all over the country. We are not even talking about developing countries. We are talking about countries that are relatively advanced. In United States of America, for example, we have had over 5 crashes this year alone. So it's unfortunate that had to happen. A lot of things need to be looked into, because it's not like when you are driving. When you are driving and your vehicle develops faults along the way, of course, you can still maneuver to safety. But we are talking of air when you don't have control. The technological advancement that we don't talk about are mostly predominant with military and fighter aircraft. So I don't know. I think there are few passenger aircraft that have such escape or landing safe landing equipment in case of emergency. But most of the time, when these crashes happen, there are so much fatalities that are recorded. And whatever that needs to be done, the government of India seems to be on top of the situation. Whatever that needs to be done should be done. That was too large a number of people, around 241. It was unfortunate. Our heart goes to those who lost their lives.
All right, Austin, we have to go on another break right about now. When we do come back, we'll be having more on the Break It On Papers review. Please do stay with us.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
One day now, one day. Walk no go rest day. Say you still fit go on holiday. Make you know they complain. Retire in grand style. Make it worth your while. Choose a partner that won't stress you out. Let's shape your future. Access ARM is working for you. Access ARM is investing for you. To live a life that you dream for you. We don't go for your head.
Let's help you shape the future you deserve. Access ARM Pensions. Future shaping.
Kí ló ń sún ọpọ́n ìrẹsì jọ̀lọ́ọ̀fù lọ sípele ìgbádùn tó ga? Ṣé tí wọ́n bá sè é pẹ̀lú kóró náà fún adùn tó kà màmá yẹn ni? Tàbí tẹ́ ẹ bá jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó sàláàdì Nàìjíríà, èso kábéèjì, kárọ̀tì, lẹ́tùsì, àtẹ̀wà oníkíndìnrín díẹ̀.
Ó ní láti jẹ́ méjèèjì. Ṣe jollof rice rẹ pẹ̀lú adùn kóró náà kí o wá jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀fọ́. Ó yá, jẹ́ kí ọ̀pọ̀ oúnjẹ rẹ gbé pẹ́ẹ́lí. Lónìí, jẹun tó dáa.
Mr. Teacher, please, what happens when children come to school? How is it that they leave home very neat and return looking so different?
Non-stop action, ma. All the learning and sports burn energy. So those sweat stains, dirty uniforms and shoes, they show that your kid has been very active.
Now, wow.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Golden penny pasta, what's your reason? What's your reason, oh? Everybody gather round. Come and hear the news in town. From the kitchen to my heart, every single body's a thrill. With every bowl I share, I find more reasons.
There are more reasons to love Golden Penny Pasta, enriched with protein and fiber for you and your loved ones. Golden Penny Pasta, great taste, good nutrition.
Kò bá jẹ́ 24, 29 tàbí 32 ṣáà ti fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wa lórí gbogbo ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ kàn tẹ 32 FM 949 fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀.
Is that Alfie playing football in the rain?
It's Tobichio.
My goodness. When did he grow up? That's it with kids, so.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NANKID 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. NANKID 4. Nourish your child's potential.
This taste na banger, this taste na creamy rich, this taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1. Thickness, enjoyment, yumminess, happiness, delightfulness, deliciousness, smoothness. This taste na new Nescafe, original original 3-in-1.
Enjoy more creamy richness with the new Nescafe Original 3-in-1 in the new pack. That's strong. Finish strong.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM, 94.9, the antidote to depression.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still on to Break It On Tapers Review here on your Laughter Dial 32 FM 94.9. And Austin, before we quickly open the phone lines, NNPC says it recorded 748 billion naira profit in April. Is this something that is a cheering news for us, or we still need to look in more deeper with some of the excesses of the NNPCL here?
Well, it's a good one. NNPC is now a public liability company, public limited company, so they can make profit. That is what we want to see. We want to see a competitive NNPC. NNPC that is private sector driven. I think I got an information that the government is planning to list NNPC on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. That will also help us. That was a turning point in the life of Aramco, the Saudi oil, national oil company. So, but above it all, what we want to see NNPC deliver to Nigeria is stability in petroleum supply, vis-a-vis affordability for the common man. That is what we want to see. We want to see prices go down as a result of more competition. Let's give more licenses to people to come up with various sizes of refinery so that through effective competition, prices can continue to come down. Because even if NNPC make $1 trillion as profit, the people of the country will look at it, how it affects them, how it helps to boost their business, how it helps to put food on their table, how it helps to reduce the cost of transportation. That should be the overall goal. But making profit, I think, is a good one.
What about the refineries here? They've been in comatose for too long.
The refinery should work. You know, the NNPC resuscitated the Warri and Port Harcourt, but they are still epileptic. That is the problem. The problem of sustainability. These refineries are too old to meet up with today's demand. That's just the truth. My view was actually that let's make this refinery work, because you cannot sell a car that is not running. When you make this refinery work, then you look for a way to bring in investors to privatize this refinery. I believe that private investment can boost those refineries. Private sector initiative can help to sustain the practicability and the workability of this refinery. If we continue to leave it in the hands of government, but the truth of the matter is that if you rise up tomorrow and say you want to privatize them, NSE will also set us back. It was NSE that brought us to where we are now on the issue of this refinery. I can tell you for free, because Obasanjo has sold it to Dangote at that time. When Yaradua came, the NSE pressured him. He had to reverse it back. So there are a lot of progress that have also been hindered along the line of our democratic journey. However, we must take well-informed decision that you are selling an asset that is becoming like a cost center should be disposed of. When an asset is becoming like a cost center, if you have a car that you take to mechanic today, tomorrow you take it to mechanic, next tomorrow you take it to mechanic, what will you be thinking? When your car collects more money from you than it serves you, it means that the car is no longer useful for purpose. You have to sell the car to those who can manage it. So for me, let them look for a way to resuscitate the refinery fully and dispose them to private sector. In the process of doing that, NSC should be carried along. It is not like you are selling your property. There are some property you need to sell. There are some property that need to go, especially when they have constituted a major cost center. We have spent over 20 trillion since 1999 on turnaround maintenance of those moribund refineries.
Okay, all right. Is that about time to actually open the phone lines and also take your comments on our socials? Do remember we are live on Facebook, 32FM 949 Ibadan. That's 32FM 949 Fenye on Facebook with double E's. The numbers are 070-55000-949 or 08097,949 plus 234-962,949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. This is Prince Bumia Defosi calling from Apata. I agree the brilliant analyst there. You see, I will never praise an APCA. I will never praise them because this is the same sector that spent $1.5 billion to revive LMA refinery. And what do we have today? It is only Dangote refinery that is working perfectly well than the federal government property, which is not supposed to be. I don't know. Maybe they will remit the money they realized to the federation account because for years now, NNPCS has been failing. They've not been remitting what they generated to the federation account. And Mr. President is the petroleum minister. It saddens my heart if I as a person, I can still be hearing that they should try and revive a refinery despite the billions of dollars they spent on them. That is my submission. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much, Bumi Adefose. And of course, that appears to sound like a red flag if remittances are not being made. Okay, the numbers again are 070-55,949 or 080-97949 plus 234-9062,949. We're also live on Facebook here and of course on YouTube in case you want to drop your comments there. That's 32FM949 for here. On Facebook with double A's. We have this one on Facebook. Akedi Rambabatunde says, one party system in Nigeria. I don't think it is possible because we have 18 political parties. How many are viable? Another question mark. The practitioners decide which platform to use. It is just the most politicians are after what to eat without any ideologies. All right. Good morning to Rashidat adhering to. Sulaiman Sharif says, Mr. President's comment about the opposition exposes real agenda towards opposition leaders and parties. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This is John Olariwaju. I'm calling from Nigeria. The comment of Mr. President against the opposition in his address yesterday at the House of Assembly, to me, it's not a welcome development. I think if the president is talking about the opposition being in disarray, I think what of the governor that he himself is the governor in governing the Nigeria not in disarray, a situation whereby it things is not working well the way it's supposed to be. I think Mr. President to me is very good when this is good in answers and practice of the policy of policy. Yes. But when it comes to the governance to me, I think Mr. President is very weak as far as I'm concerned, with due respect to him. I think he needs to focus more on the governance than on the policies or, on 2027. That was an error. I don't know whether I can call it error. The posthumous award, where they listed the names of our live people, Professor Onti and the older person. So because they don't much concentrate on the governance, I think I appeal to Mr. President and his team to concentrate more on the governor and leave the opposition. When you do right thing for the citizen will deal with the opposition and will keep behind him. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you so much for that. All right, we have Prince Bumi Adefosi also on Facebook. It says, democracy is retrogressing. One under President Bola Tinubu, and it was only politicians that enjoying his administration and not the citizens because of speech and promises is not something to write home about. All right. We also have Akedi Rambabatunde that says the current administration still has 2 more years to honor whoever they want. Let them face governance in this last 2 years. Hold governors accountable. They have more funds. Post subsidy is gone. All right. Salaman Jerry says no one joins APC with the aim for good governance, but to mismanage our resources, self-benefit, and hide up their corruption cases by EFCC. All right, we have Miriam Yetunde says, given the challenges Nigerians face under the current administration, a strong opposition party is crucial for 2027. I urge opposition parties to put aside differences and unite towards a common goal. All of that is some of the comments here out of Facebook this morning. And of course, our time is fast spent. Austin, we have to leave the studios right about now. Any last shot from you as we leave the studios this morning?
Yes, above it all, the only way we can remember the true hero of democracy is to ensure that our people can feed, the economy becomes better, there is security of lives and property, because the Nigerian people are the true hero of democracy. God bless Nigeria. God bless Oyo State.
Thank you so much, Austin Edumu, for doing this with us this morning. And to all our callers in this still calling, let's say a big thank you to you and those who dropped your messages on Facebook. A big thank you as well. That's the much we can take on the Break It On People's Review this wonderful Friday morning. Do join us again tomorrow for another interesting edition of the program. The Smart Kids Show is up next. My name is GBOLABO, famous call. Bye for now.